Hello, my viewers. Today I'm going to read you a book that's called Mr. Seahorse by Eric Carle. He is my favorite author.
Wow.
Here's the author's name and here's the story's name. Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's time for me to lay my eggs. She said. Can I help? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Oh yes, thank you, said Miss Seahorse. And she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly.
Wow.
I'll take good care of our eggs, said Mr. Seahorse. I promise.
Oh.
As Mr. Seahorse gently through the sea, he passed right by a group of trumpet fish. Hidden in a patch of
Reeds.
But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse, delighted. Replied Mr. Stickleback, I just built a nest right away. Miss Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. Keep up the good work, said Mr. Seahorse.
And swam. Bala? And swam on his way.
And swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a lionfish.
Wow. You saw a lionfish in the aquarium. A lionfish?
Fish behind hidden behind a coral reef.
Wow.
Lionfish don't look like. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs now. You are taking good care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. You must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Just try to spot the fish if you without reading the words. Okay?
Here.
Yeah, here.
Mm-hmm.
a pair of leaf fish
Wow.
hidden among the seaweed. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Curtus asked Mr. Seahorse. Perfectly fine, replied Mr. Curtus. Miss Curtus. Mrs. Curtus laid her eggs, and I have stuck them on my head. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. You are doing a good job, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea,
He passed.
right by.
It's a rockfish, I think.
No. Can you spot the fish?
Little with a eyes. Oh, stonefish.
A stonefish hidden by a rock. ওই যে রিমেম্বার আমরা একটা কেভে গেছিল তারপর দেখছিল stonefish. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Pipe? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Couldn't be better, replied Mr. Pipe. Miss Pipe laid her eggs along my belly. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. You should feel proud of yourself, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. Okay, no, two more there. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Bullhead? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Tip-toe, replied Mr. Bullhead. Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs and
the eggs hatched.
Now I am babysitting you. You are doing a fine job. And Mr. Seahorse swam on his way. The time had come for the seahorse babies to be born. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted this way and that way. At last, the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch. Oh no, said Mr. Seahorse.
I do love you.
I do love you.
But now
you are ready to be on your own.
Oh. The end.
Let's read this.
Yes, that's
In most fish families, after the mother had laid the eggs, they are left
on their
own. But there are
exceptions,
such as the seahorse, stickleback, tilapia, curtus, nursery fish, pipe fish, bullhead,
Catfish.
catfish, and some others. Not only
Not only are the eggs
cared for by a parent, but surprise, that parent is the father.
This is my story about them.
This is my story about them.
Bala, was that it?
Thanks for watching my video. Bye.